Ben, quick question. Saturday mornings, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Saturday mornings? Easy. Bowl of sugary cereal the size of my head, pajamas still on at noon, and glued to the TV, Cartoon Central.
Cartoon Central is right.
We're talking peak animation, people. Dragon Ball Z powering up for like 5 episodes straight.
It felt like a lifetime, but worth it. Goku going Super Saiyan? Mind blown. And Naruto? Believe it.
Believe it. And don't even get me started on Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Giant robots fighting in space. My 10-year-old self was living the dream.
Oh man, Gundam Wing. So much angst, so much awesome robot action. And let's not forget the superheroes. Superman flying faster than a speeding bullet. Batman lurking in the shadows. Spider-Man swinging through New York.
We were spoiled for choice. And you know what's wild? We actually had to wait for these things. No binge-watching entire seasons in one sitting back then. You caught it Saturday morning, or you missed it. The drama.
The struggle was real. And if you missed it, you had to rely on word of mouth from your friends at school to know what happened. Imagine that in today's world.
Right? Now it's like, oh, missed the new episode? No problem. It's right here, on demand, forever. We've got it all at our fingertips now with these little pocket computers.
These things, smartphones, they're amazing, obviously. But sometimes I forget what life was like before they ruled everything.
Totally. Remember rewinding VHS tapes? That little whirring sound. If you didn't rewind properly, you were public enemy number one in the household.
Oh God, the fury if you didn't rewind. And gathering the whole family around one TV in the living room to watch a movie together? Because there was no streaming on demand, no tablets, no personal screens everywhere.
Exactly. Life was different. Simpler in some ways, right? And that brings us to what we're talking about today, nostalgia.
Nostalgia. That warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you think back to, well, moments like the ones we just described. It's like wrapping yourself in a mental comfort blanket made of memories.
Yeah, it's this beautiful ache, isn't it? Like remembering those Saturday mornings, I feel this warmth, this happy feeling, but there's also this little twinge of melancholy. A touch of sadness that those specific moments are gone, you know? That specific time is past.
Totally. It's like we're looking back at photos, and they're all perfectly lit, perfectly composed in our minds. We tend to upgrade the past a bit, don't we? Make it seem simpler, happier, maybe even better than it actually was.
Oh, absolutely. My brain definitely edits out all the arguments with my siblings over the TV remote and just focuses on the joy of watching cartoons together. Selective memory is a powerful thing.
It is. And I think that's part of why we love nostalgia so much. It's like a mental escape, a way to retreat when things feel stressful now. Life throws you curveballs, and you can just dip back into those memories where things felt more secure, more innocent.
It's like a coping mechanism, for sure. Those memories shape who we are, right? That shared experience of cartoons, of life before the internet. It's part of our identity. It gives us comfort because it reminds us of where we came from, the foundations of who we are.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, remember that time? We got through that time, and it shaped us. We're still here. It's strangely reassuring.
So, today we're going to dive deep into this feeling of nostalgia. Why do we love looking back? Is the past really better? And how can we use this feeling in a positive way in our lives today?
Get ready to take a trip down memory lane with us. It might get a little emotional, maybe a little funny, but hopefully it'll be a lot relatable.
Welcome, everyone, to the MA English channel. We are so glad you're here with us today.
And if you're already feeling a little nostalgic just from this intro, hit that like button.
And if you want to join us for more conversations about life, language, and everything in between, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing.
So Amy, here's the million-dollar question. Why do we miss the past so much?
Well, our brains are pretty sneaky. It's called selective memory. We tend to remember the best parts and kind of ignore the rest.
Right. Like how we remember the thrill of catching a new episode of Dragon Ball Z, but totally forget how painful it was when the episode ended on a cliffhanger and we had to wait a whole week.
Or how we think we loved childhood summers, but conveniently forget how bored we were by week 2.
Exactly. Our brains are like directors of a movie. They edit out the dull, annoying, or frustrating scenes and leave only the highlights.
But nostalgia isn't just personal, it's cultural.
Oh yeah, those old cartoons, shows, and games, they weren't just entertainment. They were shared experience.
We all knew the pain of waiting for our turn on the family computer, the struggle of blowing into a game cartridge to make it work, and the excitement of seeing our favorite superhero on screen.
And that's why these things stick with us. They weren't just TV shows or toys. They were part of growing up.
And they still shape today's world. Think about all the live-action reboots, nostalgia-driven video games, and even retro fashion trends. We're literally bringing the past back because it made us feel something special.
All right, time for some real talk. Was the past actually better, or do we just think it was?
Oh, now we're getting deep. Let's break it down.
Back in the day, we had fewer digital distractions. No social media, no infinite scrolling. We actually talked to each other more.
True. Hanging out with friends meant actually hanging out, not just reacting to their Instagram stories.
And let's be honest, there was something magical about flipping through a CD case or going to a video rental store to pick out a movie. It made everything feel more special.
But let's not completely romanticize it. The past had its struggles, too. No GPS, no instant access to information, and let's not even start on dial-up internet.
Ah, the good old days of waiting 10 minutes for a single web page to load.
So, what do you guys think?
Are we just nostalgic because the past felt simpler? Or did life back then actually have more meaning?
And here's the real question. If we had the chance, would we really trade today's technology for the past?
Honestly, I think the trick isn't about choosing between the past and the present. It's about finding a balance.
Exactly. We don't have to ditch modern life just to relive our childhoods. But we can bring little pieces of nostalgia into today's world.
Like setting aside time to watch old anime or playing retro video games instead of constantly chasing the newest thing.
Or even something simple, like having a tech-free evening where you just listen to music, read an actual book, or, get this, call a friend instead of texting.
Whoa.
Radical idea.
And at the end of the day, nostalgia isn't about going back. It's about carrying forward the things that made us happy and using them to make life today even better.
So instead of wishing for the past, let's take the best parts of it and make the present even more amazing. Wow, we've really gone down the rabbit hole of nostalgia today, haven't we, Ben? From cartoons to pocket computers and everything in between.
Definitely. It's been a fun trip down memory lane. And I think we've uncovered some pretty interesting things about this feeling of nostalgia.
Absolutely. And if we were to sum it all up, I think we can say that nostalgia is kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Totally. It's got this amazing power to comfort us, to remind us of who we are, to give us a sense of identity. Those memories, those feelings, they're a part of us.
Exactly.
It's like a warm hug from our past selves. But we also have to be aware of the other side, right? That nostalgia can sometimes blind us a little bit to the realities of the past.
Yeah, we can get caught up in romanticizing the good old days and forget that every era has its challenges. And if we get too stuck in the past, it can stop us from fully living in the present and building for the future.
So, I think the big question we're left with is, how can we actually enjoy the charm of our memories without getting stuck there? How do we find that sweet spot?
I think it's about being mindful and intentional. Enjoy those nostalgic moments. Watch those old cartoons. Listen to that music. Let yourself feel that warmth and connection to your past.
But then bring yourself back to the present. Use those memories as inspiration, maybe even as a guide for what you value in life now. But don't let them hold you back from embracing new experiences and moving forward.
Right. Nostalgia isn't about rejecting progress or pretending the past was perfect. It's about enriching our lives today by tapping into the positive feelings and lessons we can draw from our memories.
It's like taking the best parts of the past and bringing them with us into the future in a way that makes sense for now. Finding that balance.
Exactly. And I think that's a really positive outlook to have. Nostalgia isn't a trap, it's a tool. A tool we can use to understand ourselves better, connect with others, and even create a richer and more meaningful life in the present.
Well said, Ben. So, let's not be afraid to look back sometimes, to smile at those memories, to maybe even shed a little bittersweet tear.
But let's always remember to keep our eyes firmly fixed on the road ahead, ready to create new memories and new experiences too.
Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey today, everyone. We really hope you enjoyed this conversation.
And we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on nostalgia? How do you balance looking back with moving forward? Let us know in the comments below.
And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe for more conversations about life, language, and all things interesting. We'll see you in the next video.